Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to make an oval cuff bracelet that is metal stamped. So you see I have some little hearts and flowers, I have some wording here, and we've actually been able to shape this cuff. So that's a really fun project. It's great for gifts, great for the holidays, great if you're making and selling jewelry. And what we're going to use as basically our starter kit is this right here. It's by ImpressArt, and you actually get the bracelet bending tool, which is this, and you get 7 of these little aluminum blank strips, and they measure 6 inches long by 5/8 across. So a lot of good space for you to work in right there. And I already have one set open. Now, if you wanted a different width or you wanted more blanks, we do offer those at beadaholique.com as well. So you see here we have different packs, and this is the same one here that comes in with your starter set. But we have wider ones as well as narrower ones, and you can see on some of these you get quite a few strips. So a lot to play with, especially if you're making and selling jewelry or making gifts. Really a great option. So for the particular project that we're going to be doing here, we are going to be using one of these little blanks. We're going to be using our little steel block, which is also by ImpressArt. We're going to be using a 1-pound ImpressArt hammer. Then we're going to be using something which is really cool. Now these are bracelet guides, and you can see I've used the first page of them, but you get a bunch of pages, and these are little ruler guides. So these allow you to evenly space out your letters and also center them on your piece of jewelry, whatever you're making. So we're going to use that in just 1 minute. But I also want to let you know we're going to be using these little hearts. So this is a little set, also by ImpressArt. 3 different sizes of the same heart. So we have a 1.5 millimeter, a 2 millimeter, and a 3 millimeter. I'm going to be using a little letter set by ImpressArt. This is newsprint. So that's what I'm going to be using for that. And then to really make everything pop, you see how these really stand out? We're going to be using a little stamp enamel marker in black, but it does come in green, silver, gold, as well as brown. So just to prep our workstation before we begin and to give you a few little tips and tricks, first off, when you get this out of the set here, this comes with a little film on it. It's just like a little clear or almost clear, it's kind of blue sticker. Go ahead and peel that off. And I say peel that off first because I have my little example thing here that I've been practicing on. If you're doing these little teeny tiny hearts, some of that little blue sticker can get stuck in there if you leave it on when you do it to begin with. Also, another note, you can see this is my little sample piece. Always keep, if you do make a mistake, always keep it so you can use it as a sample piece. And you'll notice, and I did it twice because I was practicing, I misspelled my word twice because I wasn't paying attention to what letter I was grabbing out of my little letter set. So be careful with that. Hopefully I won't do that on the video, but just kind of keep that in mind as well. So before you actually bend your bracelet, you're going to stamp it. So stamping it's the first step. And we're also going to put in on our little bracelet guide. So there is a little instruction sheet at the beginning of it, which is handy. Tells you how to line it up. And we're going to go to the page that has one available. And we're just going to peel it off. And this is a really thick kind of cardboard-like sticker. And so what you want to do is, let me take it off of there. You're going to line it up wherever you want it on your bracelet blank. Now there's a guideline up top and there's a guideline on the side. Now I like to use these little side guidelines. Right here you see that little blue notch? That I want to line up with the edge of my bracelet blank. And I want to make sure that corresponds on the other side as well. And you have time to play with these. You can just pull them right off. So I'm going to eyeball the center and then I want to lay it down. So that blue line is on the edge for both of them. Now you could measure from here to here as well if you wanted, but now I've got a center point. I have a nice line with markings, and then I've also got this lined up here. Now for your letters, you're going to have a couple different types of letters, of course. For letters such as, here's a B. So when you're reading this, you read it up right here. This is a mistake I made. So that is a B. And then let's see. Here you have a D. I'm trying to find one of the letters I want to show you. Okay, so finally, here's a P. So with the letters that have a little bit that goes down below the baseline here, you're going to line them up with that second little blue line. So for most of your letters, you're just going to line it up with the top line. If it's a P or a Y or a Q or a G, you're going to line it up with that little blue line below, and you're just going to stamp right on top of this little sticker, and it's going to turn out fine for you. So those are the basics of what we need to do to begin, and now we're going to go ahead and do our stamping. All right, I've lined up my work surface a little bit differently right now that we're ready to stamp, and I have two little tricks to show you. First off, I want to write happy thoughts, and so I wrote that right on my tape so I know where to put my letters. Secondly, I went ahead and I pre-selected my letters here so that I'm not having to hunch around in my case. Also, hopefully that will prevent me from choosing the wrong letters as I carefully pick them out. All right, so we're going to start stamping. We're going to start with our H. We're going to grab this and put it right onto our block. And then we're going to grab our hammer. So the trick to using these little bracelet guides, and this might be a little bit hard to see on camera. So if you look here, you want the edge of the letter itself to line up against the edge of the bracelet guide sticker. And the way you do that is you put it where you want it. So I lined it right above the H here that I had written. And then you drag it down until it catches. And you will feel it actually rest up against that guide. So once you've got it rested, you're going to try to give it one good whack. So there's the H. Now I want to do an A. And so you always want the ImpressArt logo and the letter facing you. So I'm going to bring it like this and turn it up like this. So that should always be facing you. And then again, I'm just going to drag it down until I feel it catch. And I want to make sure it's centered on that line. So you want the center of the line that you're lining it up with to be centered right here. And this does take practice. Allow yourself the freedom to practice. So H-A. Now here's our first letter with a little bit that goes down below the sticker line. So this is our P. And what we're going to do is we're going to feel it catch, and then we're going to scoot it down even more so it's on line with that little blue line. P. P, and then a Y, and the Y is going to do the same. And that's why I chose this word, because I really wanted you guys to be able to see what you do when you're confronted with one of these letters. Y. So there I've got happy, and now I want thoughts, because we all want happy thoughts. Right? Again, I'm lining it up so I see the little logo facing me, and I spread this out because this is a short little saying on a big blank. You could have made them closer if you wanted to, but I decided to space them because I'm going to put little hearts between them. T. I am double, triple checking my letters. H. O. Always make sure you're happy with the placement before you punch. It's kind of like sewing. It's a measure twice, cut once. Same thing with metal punching. U. G. And again, this is going to go below. So I'm going to drag it down and then scoot it down a little bit more. H. T. Almost done. And then what I consider the fun part are the little random hearts, because you don't have to line them up. T. And an S. It does really help to be able to write on that actual sticker. All right, we've got happy thoughts. So now what we can do is pull this sticker off. And then what you'll notice is sometimes if you do write over the sticker, a little bit is left behind. So you just take your nail or a toothpick or something and just make sure that tape is off of there. Well, I say tape, it's like a sticker. All right, so I got happy thoughts. Now I want to do my little hearts. And so for my little hearts, again, if you want the heart to be upright, make sure that that logo is facing you. I'm just going to do these randomly, and they don't have to be straight up and down. And grab the next size. I love that I get 3 sizes of the same heart in the set. It makes life really easy. Oops. Oh, watch your hands. Luckily I did not hit it, but I was too overzealous. I was having fun with my hearts. This is a teeny tiny little one. This is the 1.5 millimeter. And then I should have one more. Okay. Let's put that right here. Well, that's looking pretty good. All right, one more. All right. So now I can put this away. I'm done with that. I'm done with my punches. All right, so a quick note. I want to show you my sample. So here was a different spacing. This spacing for my word smile was not every notch, but every other notch. So I did that along all the orange notches, and you can see how that spacing is much further apart than what my spacing is here. So that's just a quick note about the spacing. Now I'm ready to make this design pop. So I'm doing basically all the finishing touches, all the work on this blank before I bend it. So this is my stamp enamel. And because I did have part of that little kind of this little sticker stick in a couple of those, I want to make sure there's nothing gunky on here. I'm just going to rub it face down on a paper towel, just to make sure. I see a little bit of stickum right there. So I just want to make sure that's off. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have another one handy, another paper towel, and I've covered my work surface. I'm going to shake this up. And now I'm going to go ahead and color these in. I'm just going to go over their tops. So what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get into that stamped space, and that's going to help to bring out your lettering. And if you need more ink, push it down like that, and more ink will come out. All right, so you can look at it, make sure you got it into all the little recesses. And on the actual instruction for the stamp enamel marker, it says to let it sit for 1 to 3 minutes. Personally, I find about 1 minute is just about right. So I'm going to pull back and just wait a minute before I wipe it off. All right, it's been just about a minute. I'm going to rip off another little piece of my paper towel, and I'm going to start to wipe this. And you can see how that lettering is just popping now. It's really amazing how that brings it out. Now we can actually read it from a distance. There we go. And if you notice, I'm kind of doing a little gentle circular motion because I'm also kind of shining and cleaning up my aluminum blank as I do this. All right, let's see what we've got. Oops, there's a little bit still in the O. There we go. All right, we've got happy thoughts. Okay, so looking at this, I'm pretty happy with it turned out. I do see that the O and the U is a little bit close together, so it's just a practice matter, and the S is a little high, but it will improve with time for all of us. So definitely, this is something that you do want to keep practicing. Always keep these little blanks. But if you look, this was one of my first attempts using this new bracelet guide. This was my second attempt, and this is my third attempt. So just in 3 attempts, it's definitely improved a lot. So that will happen with you too. Do give yourself time though with this technique, because it does take a little bit of practice and just knowing what feels right and what looks right. Okay, we are ready to go ahead and use our bracelet bending tool. All right, how do we do it? There's a notch here, there's a handle here. You're going to hold it by the handle, insert your piece into the notch, and you're going to use the leverage of the handle to bend it over the top. Now bend it most of the way, but not all the way is what I found works best. Okay, flip it around. Do the same thing on this side. Keep bending, and there we go. Happy thoughts. And we have a nice little oval blank. Now you can keep working it if you want to make it a little bit of a tighter oval. So you can just kind of keep going at it and keep working at it. I like it like this because it makes it really easy to slip on and off. And also for people with different wrist sizes. But there we go. Just like that, we've created our shape. And we've got happy thoughts. Now there is a little protective film on this side here. I think you could take it off whenever you want. I left it on throughout the whole process, but I could have taken it off beforehand too. So there we go. And we are good to go. This could be a nice gift for someone. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use this bracelet bending tool, how to do the metal stamping, how to use bracelet guides. So a lot of fun stuff, the enamel markers, and you can find everything you see here available at Beadaholique.com, as well as other tutorials on metal stamping. So if this is something that interests you, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and also check out Beadaholique.com, because we have so many more videos that teach you different aspects of metal stamping and a lot more supplies for it as well.